Hey kids, it's been a long time coming. It's time to catch up, answer all your burning questions. It's been like 10 months, I think, right? Since my last one. It was July of last year, and now it's April. Okay, maybe 9 months. I felt like it had been almost a year, but you get the idea. As per usual, I asked you guys on my Instagram story if you had any questions. You came through like you always do. First of all, can I just say how much I appreciate this? Whilst this is all happening, I'm gonna be cutting my bangs. I got all my hair stuff here. We're gonna open a bottle of wine. We're just having a fun, girly extravaganza today. I have lost an insane amount of hair since I had COVID. 2 months after getting COVID, all my hair started falling out in clumps. Every time I brush my hair, what's left in the brush could fill up a person's entire head. All day long, it just falls out. Nick is constantly pulling it off of me now. The guys go home and it's in their zippers and it's really bad. I'm feeling the effects of it and I want to change, you know? I've been a horse lady long enough. I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't had bangs since 2011. They didn't look good, and Nick always said that they looked like they were chewed off, so we'll see how it goes today. All right, first question is, do you dream of someday being on television, either for singing, comedy, makeup, or all things? I love that question, and I'm so happy to answer it. See, like, look at this. What is this? So I was recently told, I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do it like that. Hold up, before I make this cut, I need a little liquid courage, you know what I mean? How cute is this wine? 10 out of 10 would drink again. So to answer that question, I would say not anymore. There was definitely a time when I was younger that I thought I would be an actress. And there's definitely been times as an adult where I wished I had pursued acting. I wish so badly I had pursued that. But what I've learned is that I kind of am an actress. A lot of the stuff I do requires a lot of acting, and I absolutely love it, but I do not think I'm cut out for doing it for such long periods of time like how movie stars do it. I recently had the privilege of shooting with like a production team to make some content for Facebook. It was a great experience, but we shot a lot. We shot like 8 videos in 2 days, and by the end of day 2, I was literally like done. I don't know how movie stars do it, you know? I'm done. You guys like them? You know, like having to be in character and just on, so to speak, that takes a lot of like mental energy and sometimes physical, depending on like if I have to get into a bunch of costumes, you know, and it can be pretty taxing, and I just don't know. Like professional actors and stuff that do movies, they have like 13 and 20-hour shoot days, and that is a lot of time to be somebody else. You know what I mean? That, and I just don't know if I want all the things that go along with being a professional actor. Like I love the idea of being on a movie set and experiencing it, but then the fallout from that, the aftermath, like the fame and having to like do all the stuff actors do, like go to the Oscars, not my thing. Next question, how's the new house coming along? You guys, it's coming. It's so exciting. The process has been pretty slow. I think a lot of stuff was delayed like because of COVID and whatever else. So there was a couple instances where we were waiting on things to be delivered, or, you know, this hadn't come in yet, that hadn't come in yet. I really think COVID like slowed everything down considerably. They're crooked. But it's finally coming together. The last thing we're waiting on are cabinets. So the kitchen lady, the lady who designed our kitchen, she made a little mistake. No big deal. And she designed it to where, I'll actually just show you. So this is where the dishwasher was originally. And when it would fall down, it would hit the fridge. So we tried moving the fridge over, but that didn't work because then there was a gap right there. I don't really know the logistics of it all. But now the dishwasher is here. The stove will be here, and then we had to get like I think a 6-inch wine cabinet to go in between, and that's what we're waiting on. Looking good, huh? Pretty slick. I'm replacing those though. They don't really fit my vibe. Kind of vibe. That last cabinet is supposed to be delivered April 6th, which is in like, I don't know, a couple days. And then it just needs to like be cleaned, and then it's moving time, kids. And I physically could not be more excited. Like between that, my sister and nephews coming home, just I feel like so many things are changing for the better, you know? Next question, what's with the low views? You know what? I want to talk about this, okay? I feel like there's this really stupid rule that YouTubers have where we're not supposed to talk about views and stuff like this, and I'm just like so over censoring myself in that way. I would actually love to talk about this. So yeah, as many of you have probably noticed, my views are not what they once were. Sorry, I'm kind of angled so I can like look in the mirror and see what I'm doing. It's pinpointed to exactly when I came back from my rebrand is when everything first kind of took a little bit of a dip, like more of a dip than I had anticipated. And then since then, instead of getting better, it has just progressively gotten worse. Like I can kind of watch every single thing I post now, no matter how fast it grows in the first day, it hits a wall and then it just stops. But you know what, you guys? My life is so good. I love this job. I love so many things about YouTube. A lot of these questions are, what would you be doing if you weren't on YouTube? I've thought about it so many times. I literally can't think of anything else that I would rather do. Like my life is so good. I'm moving into this beautiful new home. Like it's a bummer. It hurts my feelings a little bit that my views are low these days, or lower these days. But I can't let that be the end of the world for me, because then I am the type of person that would forget and overlook all the good. YouTube has such a way of making you think that your worth is tied up in your view count. And it's just so interesting because like in real life, I kid you not, I could win an award for how hard I will not fight for people's affection or attention. Like in real life, if someone doesn't like me, bye. It took me a little bit to realize, I feel like when my views dropped, I was kind of panicking, like, all right, well, what do people want? What do people want to see from me now? What do people want? What do people want? And finally I was like, I wouldn't do this in real life, so why am I doing it on YouTube? You know, I'm obsessed. I'm not obsessed with this though. I have so much to say. This is gonna be a long answer. But I feel like before, when I was getting like 200,000 views a day on my channel and 1,000 new subscribers a day, I never felt deserving of that to begin with. I was always just kind of like, how is this happening to me? Like, this is a lot. And I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for the day that it would all be gone. Like, that's how I am when good things happen. I'm just like, any second now, it's gonna be over. Someone's gonna die. I have this like, I don't really enjoy anything because I'm always worried of losing it. So I was kind of prepared for this. I've definitely taken more of a hit than I was prepared for. And that was the part that kind of like hurt my feelings. But at the end of the day, I don't value YouTube's algorithm over what I personally want to say and do. I got some really good advice recently from a producer I was working with. And she said, your talents are better suited for television. Because we were talking about like how my channel has kind of taken a hit. And that's not to say that I'm more talented than people on YouTube. It's just different. It's a different skill set, I guess. So like I'm good with writing scripts, memorizing lines, literally like acting, like we were talking about earlier. And skits and stuff don't seem to do as well on YouTube, or at least mine don't. That is better suited for television. And so I brought that up to my manager. I brought that up to him, the advice I got about how someone suggested that my talents are better for television. He goes, oh yeah, 100%. And I'm like, okay, but I want to do YouTube, you know? I want to be in control of the writing too, and the camera angles and the overall concept of a video. Like I want creative control of all that. So YouTube is my jam, you know? I love it, even though it doesn't always love me. The other thing is like, it's been 8 months since my rebrand of me kind of trying to understand what happened and like what went wrong. And at this point, I've kind of tried everything and I don't even know what exactly went wrong. There was some really weird thing when I first came back where my channel had been marked as made for kids, and you guys were commenting and literally like showing me screenshots of you trying to like hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload. Oh god, ow, ow, ow. And there was like an error message that was like, you can't do that for a channel made for kids. And I thought maybe that was it. So I had to go through this huge thing and like email creator support on YouTube and emailing back and forth with them for like 2 weeks. They couldn't help me. It finally got resolved months later. And so I thought maybe like that was the problem. That turns out that wasn't it. I don't really know what happened. You know, I didn't change anything about who I am. If anything, I'm just happier now and I'm like making content that I really like. Because even before my rebrand, I was starting to kind of phase away from makeup. I was doing a lot of movie reviews. Instagram, I hadn't posted makeup on Instagram for like 2 years. And for some reason, after my rebrand, I lost thousands of followers on Instagram and I literally didn't change anything on Instagram. So I just don't know, you know, but it's okay. I've said this before. I am not willing to do whatever it takes to get views. I don't feel entitled to anyone's view. I actually know some things I could do to get views. Like I could easily start covering I could talk about other YouTubers. Like, you want views, push Shane Dawson's name in your YouTube video, you will get views. Like, there's so many things I could do to get my views back to where they were, and I just don't want to, you know? Hey, I'm sad about this. Like, this is too heavy. Do I have my thinning shears? Just a side note, I promise I won't keep harping on this. If you are somebody who has stuck around, I don't know if it's the wine or what, but I'm getting emotional. If you stuck around through my rebrand, I appreciate you more than ever. I know it probably felt like a huge change and people probably were like, well, what the heck are you gonna do? Makeup's your only skill. You don't have any skills. All right, moving on from the world's longest answer, talking about my view count. Who is a celebrity that people say you look like? Okay. This is so funny. The most common one that I've been hearing every day, almost every single day, I've been hearing Sydney Sweeney, Sydney Sweeney, Sydney Sweeney. And for some reason, I didn't look her up for the longest time. And I finally just looked her up and oh my gosh, she's literally the most beautiful. She's the most beautiful woman I think I've ever seen. One of the most anyway. I saw her in a bikini and I was like, yeah, yes, that's exactly what she is my twin. Like, you guys met from the neck down, right? We look like twins from the neck down. Thank you. Such a compliment. Oh, this is a fun one. Is there anything you don't like about your face? This is a one I feel like I shouldn't answer and I should be like,
no, I love myself.
But I want to answer it, you know? What do I do with you? Yeah, so there's a couple things I don't like about my face, okay? People get mad at me when I say there's something I don't like about myself, but what you guys don't understand is that I don't care. I don't like it, but I also don't care. You know what I mean? So it doesn't keep me up at night. If I don't like something, I just kind of don't like that. And I'm gonna tell you what it is, okay? Have we talked about this before? Why do I have a memory that I've already answered this exact, very specific question? I don't really like my smile. Okay, I'm not saying my lips, okay? I'm fortunate in the lip department, but my smile, I don't like my tooth to gum ratio. Like when I smile, I show a lot of gum, and if I'm like really laughing, then it's like, it's like this. I hate these curls I have on the outer edge of my mouth. What is this? What is this dimple right here? Do you see this? Who has a dot right there? Why does it dent in? Literally, it's like a circle and a dot, like a boob. I don't like this dent. This was an acne scar when I was 24. And then all like the muscles in the area caved in and I want it to be smooth, you know? Next question, who is your favorite brand that you've worked with recently? Oh, that's a fun one. Oh my gosh, you know who I love and is with us here today? I love Wink Wine. I really, really love Wink Wine. It's such a good value subscription service if you like are a wine drinker. And I love whatever process they use to like make their wine. I feel like I can taste it. Like they have a way, and I've loved every wine that I've tried and I always feel good, and I love picking my selections each month, and I love it. They've sponsored me before. They're not sponsoring me right now, but I will of course include my link below because it's really good. Why don't you like to be directed? Is it an ego thing? When did I tell you guys I didn't like to be directed? I mean, I don't, but I don't remember saying that. Is my ego, I guess it is. Like I don't really like being directed at all by anybody. Short answer, no, it's not an ego thing at all. It's a multi-layered reason why I don't like being directed when I'm like filming or, you know, acting. I am so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is life-changing right now. I feel like Dakota, what's her name? So, okay, the reason I don't like to be directed, it's a multi-layered thing. The biggest thing is because this is my YouTube channel. So if I were acting on a movie, like on a set where someone else wrote the script and everybody knew that I didn't write it, I would have no ego whatsoever. Just like whatever you tell me to do, I'm gonna do. As long as it's nothing weird. But this is such a unique situation because anything that happens on my channel, my viewers think that I wrote it. So it's important that I wrote it. I'm definitely open to other people's ideas. Like we bounce a lot of ideas off each other and stuff. The other thing is that it can start to feel like that whole too many cooks in the kitchen thing. Especially in a comedy setting, you can get carried away and like start to have a lot of fun and you're laughing and you're like, oh, you should do this. And the next person's like, what if you did this? And the next person's like, add this. That can overwhelm me. And it's like, I don't want it to become where it's everybody's ideas but mine, you know? But no, it's just not my ego. I just think it's important that this stuff for this channel comes from me. If I act on someone else's channel, direct me all day long, man. Direct me to the moccasins. Can we get more commentary on current stuff and TikTok trends? I'm actually glad someone asked that because this is like the $1 million question for me. I'm really into commentary right now, and it's a direction my channel's kind of been going for a while, like since I started movie reviews. And I would love nothing more than to do those things for you, but the thing is, you have to sit there and watch TikToks. To me, this question is not talking about the things that are on the trending page. These are like, remember the time period where all these young guys on TikTok were doing that Joker thing? I think it was Dana Gonzalez made a really good commentary video about that, or all of the like POV, I'm your boyfriend, that sort of thing. Like that stuff has never been on my discover page or on my trending page. I don't know how they find this stuff. And I do not have time to sit there and scroll through TikTok to find stuff. Same thing, like I would like to keep up a little bit more on current events because I really am interested in that. How do you do it? How do you find out what is happening unless you are on your phone? Like the Oscars thing, I never would have known if my assistant hadn't texted me. So people who keep up with stuff like that, are they just on their phones all the time? I don't know. Let me know. I'm so mad at myself. I went too deep in and I got that little shaggy look I didn't want. Next question says, have you ever said something you regret in a YouTube video? 100% yes. I'm so glad you brought this up, okay? What video was it? Oh yeah, it was in my Leaving the Beauty Community video. I said the grossest thing and I cannot believe none of you called me out on it. Maybe you did behind my back, I can only hope. So in that video, I was kind of just talking about where I was at mentally and why I didn't want to be in the beauty community anymore. I was giving like an example of doing favorites videos or something, or product reviews. I don't know. I was kind of giving an example of like a video I don't want to make anymore. And I said, holding up a product and telling you guys if it sucks or not doesn't take any talent. Doesn't take any talent. Or blah, blah, blah. Like I said something so gross. And as soon as I watched it back, I was like, I wanted to trim it out so bad from that video, but I was like, nope, I'm suffering the consequences. I said the thing, you know? But the weirdest thing is that I don't actually feel like that. I think what I meant was it's not the best use of my talents in particular, because like we've kind of talked about today, I am better with just like writing scripts and all that stuff and being a comedian. But I don't actually agree at all that to do product reviews on YouTube, that it doesn't take any talent. That takes so many things in addition to talent. It takes guts to put yourself out there and like be on camera and go for what you want and to do this job if you want to review products. It takes mental fortitude and stamina, and it takes skill researching products and stuff. Like all of those things, that takes a lot. And I hate my wording when I said that. It sounded snooty. It sounded like I'm better than you because my talents are different than that. And you know, the truth is, you guys, don't kill me for saying this. I kind of miss doing favorites videos. I cannot tell you how many times a day I'm using a life-changing product and I still am in that mindset and I'm like, I need to put this in my next favorite video. Oh no, I can't do those anymore. And a lot of you watching right now are probably like, no, like go ahead and do them if you want, do whatever you want. But I am really learning the longer I do this, YouTube just wants you to do one thing. YouTube wants you to have a niche. I've learned so much since my rebrand. Really, I've learned so much in the last like couple weeks about what type of videos to post to what platform. Like certain things do better on Facebook and certain things do better on Instagram, and Instagram Reels are different than TikTok, and YouTube is different than all of them. So I want to, but I don't. You know what I mean? Ever thought about doing a meetup? Of course. I've thought about that since like day one, but I just think nobody would come. And I don't want to become a meme. This is going to be a long video, but I just want one more. Wait, I wanted to see Raw Beauty Christie's question. I'm always so honored when any other creator like acknowledges me, because most of them don't. She said, how have you been since doing what you're passionate about and leaving the beauty space? Well, we've covered a lot of it, but it's been kind of an emotional roller coaster. Like I'm really doing good now, but it took me a second to be okay with my new normal. As far as like creating the content, I've never been better. I love it. I love being funny and writing. I love doing commentary. I love doing comedic sketches. I'm much happier. I never have that feeling I used to have when I would sit down in front of a ton of makeup and feel like it was a huge chore, you know? So the only reason I've had any like struggles mentally was because of how big of a hit I took. Like losing viewers and losing income. You know, that wasn't fun. But the stuff that really matters, the good stuff, is I'm better than ever. Have you ever watched a movie for a review and thought there's no way I can review this? Oh my gosh, 100%. That happens so much. I'm limited in what I can review because I don't do rated R movies. I don't do anything with spiritism or like supernatural, like ghosts and demons, you know, that whole vibe. Not my thing. I don't like anything graphic, anything violent. What did I watch recently that I was like, yeah, this is a no? Oh, I Know Who Killed Me with Lindsay Lohan. I got about like 5 minutes into that and I was like, I can't. Yeah, no. Sometimes it's the opposite where it's like, it's totally mild, but I can't think of anything I want to make fun of. So Center Stage was on my list for a long time and I watched it and I started taking notes. And if after 30 minutes, I don't have a joke, I don't have anything funny, I don't have that feeling like this is going to be good. I'm already thinking of all kinds of comedic stuff to say. I'm already thinking of graphics. If I don't have that, then I scrap it. Biggest pro/con of working for yourself. The biggest pro is like just not having to answer anyone. I always felt like I was in trouble when I worked for someone else and I always was in fear of being fired, and I can be late if I want. I can kind of set my own hours, but not really now that I have employees. Like it's important for me to stick to a schedule so that they can stick to a schedule. The con is that you just kind of end up working 24/7. I know it probably looks to you guys like I don't because I don't put out enough content and I wish I did, but keep in mind on top of writing and shooting and editing and like just getting the camera set up, and writing takes a really long time, even if it's for a commentary video. Coming up with concepts, getting props, like all of that. In addition to all that stuff I was doing before, I'm also now training people to help me. So it kind of slows you down a little bit, but it pays off in the long run. It's just a lot of work. There's that quote, you know, that's like, I didn't want to work 9 to 5 anymore, so I started my own company. Now I work 24/7. That's the con. Lil' Kim or Nicki Minaj? Nicki Minaj. I think Nicki is the queen of rap. I think she has the best voice for rap. What's your current favorite song? My current favorite song is called Why Can't I See Ya from the cinematic masterpiece Teen Star Academy. Why can't I see ya? I'm just kidding. I heard my favorite song for the first of all, hold up. Fat Funny Friend by Maddie. I just followed her and I decided we were best friends in my mind. Oh my gosh, she's right here, right when I pulled Instagram up. Maddie Zom. Fat Funny Friend. Oh my gosh. I have never felt so many emotions listening to a song. But not just that, her whole arrangement, her vocals. Chef's Kiss. She's amazing. I love that song. And then Channing just showed me another song today and I instantly, Nick was playing it on his phone like before a meeting this morning and I heard it through his phone and phones sound like crap. I was like doing my hair and I was like, what song is that? It is called Sleep Deprivation by Chance Pena. I'm so confused. Are you doing makeup still or are you not? Pick something. Okay, guys, if you're someone who has asked this question, because it happens every day, if you have time, please do me a solid and rewatch my Leaving the Beauty Community video. Because what I said was that I was leaving the beauty community, meaning I didn't want that to be my niche on YouTube anymore. But I was very clear in that video of how much I still love makeup. I was totally on the fence about makeup and movies. Like I knew I was gonna keep movie reviews, but I didn't know if the makeup was gonna stay. I said I was on the fence. I didn't say I was quitting it. I went on for like 10 minutes in that video about how I love playing with makeup and I get like an ASMR feeling from it. I just didn't want to be surrounded by it, do it for a living anymore, do product reviews, tutorials, get ready with me's, that sort of thing. But I just never said that it was like never gonna ever happen again on my channel. You're confused? Well, I'm confused at why you're confused. By the way, if you are the one who asked that, I'm just busting your chops. But seriously, not a lot of comments get to me. But now, like, if I post a makeup and movies episode 8 months after my rebrand and people are like, I'm confused. I'm confused. I thought you weren't doing makeup anymore. I'm like, oh my God, please. Just let me do stuff. Who is the most beautiful celebrity? Lori Harvey. I didn't even have to think about that for 1 second. Lori Harvey is literal perfection to me. Can you just imagine looking like that? Does she just walk around like knowing she looks like that? Can we get a sneak peek of an upcoming comedy sketch? Well, sure.
Sean, stop, Sean, it hurts.
That sounds so funny. Why did you blur out your cleavage for 2 seconds in the Kanye West interview? You guys, why are you so observant? You are not supposed to see stuff like that. The truth is, I didn't want my cleavage, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I didn't want my cleavage to show at all in that video. And there is a little clip at the end, like during the outtakes, where I sit up straight and the shirt kind of comes up. And that was what I thought it looked like. It never really dawned on me when I leaned forward that it was gonna be like Booby Boulevard, you know? And of course, the gentlemen who are helping me film are gentlemen, and they're not gonna be like, hey, your boobs are hanging out. So, I hate that. I didn't want to show my cleave at all. No offense if it's just not my thing, you know? So I sat there for like 3 extra hours blurring it out every time the camera cut to me, because and Nick watched it and he was like, babe, this is ridiculous. Like, you're making it more noticeable with blurring it. So then I had to go through and delete all of the little censored effects that I added to each clip, and I forgot one. So yes, laugh it up. Is this video too long? Yes, I'm sick of editing it. Stop talking. I'm sorry. If you're still here, thank you. How goes your gallbladder journey? My gallbladder has been completely healed. I'm sorry if I haven't updated you guys on that. I know a lot of you watched my gallbladder flush video and have probably been wondering, so I'm sorry if I left you hanging on that. But yeah, that flush, so I got a follow-up ultrasound after I did the flush, and I had no stones left in my gallbladder, meaning that flush literally, scientifically worked. But what I learned was that stones are, a lot of people have them, but they shouldn't give you a lot of problems, and doctors tend to say like the stone is the cause, but really you shouldn't really feel the stones. It's when your gallbladder gets inflamed, like cholecystitis or whatever, you really feel the stones and have problems with them. I don't know, but what I learned was that I had a food allergy or sensitivity that was causing all of that inflammation. So I did a 28-day elimination diet where I cut out like gluten, dairy, soy, wheat, sugar, and corn, and then had to introduce foods back into my diet. And I found out that what was causing like the inflammation and the really bad attacks, in addition to having stones, was something that is in processed meat. So like salami, pepperoni, like smoked sausage, hot dogs, all of that stuff that I was eating all the time, that is what caused my gallbladder attacks. So I eliminated that from my diet, and I have very, very minimal problems. I thought it was bothering me this past week. I've been watching my carbs really strictly and eating like more fat, and I kept thinking like, this is bothering my gallbladder, but I was just getting like bad gas from all the sugar-free stuff. So yeah, my gallbladder is literally healed. It's amazing, and I'm so glad I didn't get it removed. This one says, do you have any regrets about how you went about your rebrand? I'm thinking of rebranding. Any advice? Yes, I actually have one regret. I'm obviously really glad I rebranded and did what I truly wanted to do, but here's where I think I went wrong, is that I said it out loud. If you're gonna do a rebrand, kind of like Taylor Wynn, do you guys watch Taylor Wynn? So Taylor Wynn did a rebrand, but she didn't change her content. She changed her channel name, her Instagram name, her logo, that sort of thing. That is technically a rebrand, and I think in that situation, saying it out loud, yeah, obviously. In my situation, I feel like if I had just kind of slowly transitioned and not made that video leaving the beauty community, I think I would have been a lot better off, because here's what people did. They saw the title and maybe heard the first 30 seconds of that video, clicked out of it, moved on with their lives, and thought I was leaving YouTube completely. There's actually a questions on here that said, are you going to come back? And I get questions all the time. I miss seeing your videos. I really miss seeing your videos. Are you ever gonna come back to YouTube? Like, that video literally made people think I was leaving YouTube completely. It made people think I was quitting the makeup and movies series, because I didn't explain that portion till at the end of the video. Like, I think that was a mistake. So it depends on what type of rebrand you're wanting to do, but just be careful with your wording. If you can make a seamless transition without making it a thing, I would maybe try doing that. I also don't want you to take any of my advice, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Would you ever consider starting a Patreon? I love that question so much, because it's so kind. It's so kind that you guys want to support me in that way. And you guys have asked me that before, and I said no in the past, and now Yes, I would consider it. Last question, how hard is it to own a parrot? This is a whole other video in and of itself. It is actually tremendously hard. And if I'm being fully honest with you guys, there have been days where I didn't think I could do it anymore. And I've considered rehoming her. I never could do it. Like, the thought of that literally rips my heart out. I am in love with this bird who literally like could care less if I was around or not. But it is, I don't know how to explain. It's kind of like having a toddler that never grows up. They stay like behaving like a 3-year-old forever, screaming if they don't get what they want, throwing fits, and the fits are like earth-shattering, ear-piercingly loud, which I thought African Greys weren't supposed to be, but she can rattle your eardrums. Don't start. I have a lot of anxiety when I'm gone for more than like 4 hours because I know that she needs like a lot of attention and mental, stimulation. And so that is really like, it's a constant source of stress. There's been times where I actually thought getting another parrot would help. Like if she had a friend that was there when I was gone, she has to be boarded anytime I want to go out of town. They're not like a cat that you can leave at home and like have someone feed. Like they have to have interaction and everything. And so it's a lot. It's really hard. But on the other hand, she is the cutest, funniest. I literally just stare at that bird and laugh all day long. And I cannot tell you how many times me and Nick will just be like in the dining room or in the living room just chatting, and she'll be in the kitchen talking and she'll say something and we just crack up. Like the other day, out of nowhere, she started going, "Babe, stop."
Babe, stop. Babe, stop.
And it kills me. And she's always being weird, like hanging upside down and doing weird sit-ups, and she goes insane when she entertains me. She's amazing. It's like having a kid. It's like one day they're driving you up a wall and the next day they're the cutest, most wonderful things you could ever imagine. So it's hard. And it also factors in what type of person you are, factors in. If you're neurotic, I'm super neurotic and anxious, and I feel bad for animals all the time, and I'm worried about them all the time no matter how hard I try to like be normal. So that intensifies the difficulty. But if you are kind of relaxed and you can be like, oh, they're fine, you would probably be great as a parrot owner. Okay, I think I have talked your ears off enough. Thank you so much for being here, for sending questions. It helps so much. Let me know how you guys like my bangs. I am obsessed. I mean, I know I kind of did it wrong and I went a little too deep on this side, but it's fine. Look, now I just have a cute little short layer right here. I love you, friends, and thank you so much for letting me do stuff and make changes and put out weird content, and for just being here. See you guys in the next one. Peace out. Ooh, my hand went numb. No. Oh, how do you? Oh, no. Oh yes, it tastes like. Should you go in with your friends? I don't want it to look like a shag, but I don't want to go too deep this way. Tough choices in the bang community. Hey kids. Oh, wait a minute. Look at these crusty old lips. No, thank you. Oh, yes. Fill in my lines. Words cannot express my obsession with this Auric lip balm. The only thing is you gotta wipe the little jade spatula on your pant leg before you put it back. Trish was just, I saw the wig. I don't know how Trish came. I know the wig came first. I put it on and I posted a story and I was like, hey, you know a woman who looks like this, who tells it like it is and is a beautician? What's her name? And so many of you said Tammy or Kathy. I could not pick a name. And then my assistant Nikki was at my house like the day we filmed the first Trish video, and I still didn't have a name. And she came walking out of my bathroom and she goes, what about Trish? And I laughed for at least 30 minutes. And she was like, I think judging by your response that's the name we should pick. I think we need a little thinny outie right here. Oh my God, this is unrelated, but you guys want to know something? The worst hair mishap I've ever had in my entire career as a stylist was mistaking these for these. And of all people to do it on, it was my cousin's wife. My cousin who like hates me and has for a really long time, of all people. And like I was already on thin ice with him just for existing. I cut his wife's hair. I gave her the most beautiful haircut. It looked exactly like the picture. It was perfect. And I noticed she had some layers up here that just looked too heavy. So I kid you not, I took a chunk like this big and I went thinking I had my thinning shears. It was probably like that long. Marissa, I'm still so sorry. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I called my dad. I remember called my dad crying. And he was like, do you think that they're gonna think that you did it on purpose? And then I was like, oh God, I wasn't thinking that then, but I am now. Always double check that you have your thinning shears.